And joining Tina and me this evening on debate number 1 is Maruf Raza, consulting editor of Times Now, joining us live from Delhi. Major General G.D. Bakshi, defense analyst, also with us. Strategic affairs expert RSN Singh with us in our Noida studios. Shafqat Saeed, defense analyst, joins us live from Islamabad. Air Marshal Abid Rao, defense analyst, joins us from Karachi. And Farooq Chima, retired colonel, political and security analyst, joins us from Islamabad. But my first question goes out to Air Marshal Abid Rao. Air Marshal Abid Rao, today something has been repeated on Indian soil by Mahmood Ali Durrani, the former national security advisor of Pakistan. He lost his job in the past for saying it, but he's reiterated it, and he stated that Ajmal Kasab was not only a Pakistani, the fact that he said in 2009, but he's also stated that the entire 26/11 plot was an example of cross-border terrorism which was carried out by Pakistan and sent across to India. How would you respond to this statement coming on Indian soil 9 years after what he said first has been confirmed once again? 17 hearings in the case so far, but no headway in Pakistan bringing all the accused to book. How long can you continue to hoodwink people, Air Marshal Abid Rao?
Okay, an hour back, I was together with the General and Maruf Raza. Look, I want to tell you one thing. Even if I believe that General Mahmood Durrani has said absolutely correct thing, there is a way to proceed ahead. And that way to proceed ahead has to be started by India. That is, continue talking on the subject. You cannot bully Pakistan. You cannot snap ties. You cannot stop talking at diplomatic level.
But why should we continue talking to you? Why should we continue talking to you, Air Marshal Abid Rao? What benefit has it done to India over the last 9 years? We've shown you every evidence in the book.
Let me speak.
There have been 17 hearings in the
You have already put the question.
And let me tell you, do you want India to engage in talks with Pakistan so that you can apply Schedule 4?
Without that, nothing that you tell is valid.
Of the Anti-Terrorism Act of Pakistan, which merely restricts the movement of somebody like Hafiz Saeed. For God's sake, he's a terrorist, something that has been stated.
We don't look at Hafiz Saeed from the eyes of India or America. We have our own dealings with him.
What about Durrani?
Whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, we will decide. Okay,
but
if you want anything to happen...
National Security Advisor Mahmood Ali Durrani says Hafiz Saeed is a terrorist. And
a retired officer, whether it is General Mahmood or myself, we can make any wild statement and get away. We are not responsible to the government unless we create trouble for them.
Air Marshal Abid Rao.
Yes.
With due respect to you, Air Marshal Abid Rao, the fact that you have actually levied Schedule 4 on Hafiz Saeed under the Anti-Terrorism Act,
that is our doing.
Show that you
are we answerable to India?
That he is a terrorist. Otherwise, why would you apply the terrorism law to him?
So we will do with him according to our law and according to the crime he commits in Pakistan. If you want him,
no, but you can't make both statements.
Talk to my government,
you just said it doesn't matter what we believe or what someone else believes, whether or not Hafiz Saeed is a good man or a bad man. See, the point is that either he is a terrorist or he is not. There is no in between here. And let me remind you once again why this admission is so significant. You may not think it's sufficient, but it's extremely significant because of who this person is, highly decorated person from your country who has for the second time made this confession. First time, of course, when he made this confession that Ajmal Kasab was in fact a Pakistani citizen, he was sacked that very night. If the world knows what happened there. So he's the only person who's repeatedly telling the truth.
But even after confession also, there has to be a procedure that has to be followed, which your government knows very well. It cannot be fought on media.
So you want another 10 years of procedure to be followed? Air Marshal Abid Rao, another 10 years of procedure to be followed. What procedure? When India has been saying from day one, 26/11, that this was perpetrated, this was an act perpetrated by Pakistan Ajmal Kasab was a live evidence that we put before you. Hafiz Saeed, Zakiur Rahman, Lakshmi, everything has been done. You are still in denial. Let me get in Maruf Raza. Maruf Raza, do you think the Pakistanis now have any scope for being in denial even now after Mahmood Ali Durrani's confession? And this is not a confession made in the heat of the moment. This is a confession that's come for a second time. It's a reiteration. It came in 2009 and now it comes back in 2017. Clearly, it's been reiterated and done so with due consideration. Maruf Raza, can you still believe Air Marshal Abid Rao and say that only the Pakistanis will decide how to proceed further and only talks between India and Pakistan will make us proceed further on this case?
See, Navika, I was in the earlier debate also with the distinguished Air Marshal, and I've debated with him on several occasions in the past. Let me make a few points based on what he is saying. The first thing is, and this is a line I have maintained all along, despite any number of eminences in India trying to talk me out of it, I personally believe there is going to be enduring hostility between India and Pakistan. All this stuff about good relations between neighbors is hogwash. This is the kind of puerile stuff that has been churned out for generations by South Bloc, who is filled with peaceniks who think that there is hope in a relationship with Pakistan. And you can see even now reams and reams of evidence keep coming out, but Pakistan will always be in a state of denial. I made a point lightheartedly in the earlier debate that even if we were to tell Pakistanis that they were created on 14th August 47, they would turn around and disbelieve that also. Because anything we say, they are going to go against it. Now let me give them some facts. Fact 1. Air Marshal, will you deny that it was one phone call from Richard Armitage that turned Pakistan's entire approach to the Afghan conflict, to dealing with Taliban, to dealing with everybody, when even Hayden has gone on record to say, General Hayden, former director CIA, who's not only talked of Hafiz Saeed and 2611, but he's also talked about the fact that repeatedly Pakistanis were told, do something about the terror groups that operate from your soil. And General Musharraf and others have repeatedly said that your army was a conventional army built up to fight conventional conflicts, was not capable of fighting terrorism, insurgency operations.
No, and Maruf, I'm going to request you to respond to Abid Rao when he says that it's the Indian government that's done nothing. Maruf, you know, just respond to that point that he raises when he says that the Indian government is the one that's done nothing.
Tina, point I'm making. The Indian government has taken the normal diplomatic course, but the diplomatic course doesn't work with Pakistan. It is only the threat from America to bomb them to Stone Age, as Richard Armitage did, got them to turn the course in dealing with groups at least that were anti-American. Right now, even America, who's so-called friend of India, has done damn all to support India's case, except for giving bits and pieces of evidence to the Pakistanis. And Pakistanis have just laughed it off and thrown it into the dustbin. Second point is that the Air Marshal will not again deny the fact that it is not serving officers who reveal Pakistan's hand in many of these dubious operations, whether 47-48 General Akbar Khan, whether 65 retired officer Gaura Ayub Khan, whether in Kargil Lieutenant General Shahid Aziz. It is retired officers who speak up. So Durrani has spoken up as a retired officer, having been the NSA at a time when relations reached the bottom point of India-Pakistan issues with 2611 happening. He knew it was happening under his nose. Maybe he couldn't speak then. He spoke about Ajmal Kasab. He was sacked. Now he's taken another forum to point fingers at Pakistan. Now Pakistan keeps saying that we are victims of terror, so don't blame us. Durrani himself says that a state has failed which cannot handle terrorist groups within. And it's
Maruf, I want to add to the list that you just mentioned
there. If you can't handle them, then let others handle them. So the point
absolutely.
is,
and Maruf, you're talking about the former functionaries of Pakistan who come out on record and they talk about Pakistan's hand in terror.
I do not buy the.
Yes.
No. Tina, I
just want to bring in another point that
actors. They operate from your territory. You seem to be in sovereign control. You seem to be in sovereign control of your territory. That means they are your state actors. Are you trying to say Pakistan is some ungovernable tract of land? Pakistanis will certainly deny that. If it is fully governed and they say it's their sovereign territory, then how are these non-state actors operating from within? Who's giving them the license to operate?
Absolutely.
And you tell
absolutely.
Me one way or the other,
and let me get in Shafqat Saeed. Let me get in Colonel Shafqat Saeed on this one. Colonel Shafqat Saeed, Maruf Raza raises a point that if these are non-state actors who are working, then what does it talk about the governance of Pakistan? But let me also ask you the question. Your government freed Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi in 2015, the mastermind behind the Mumbai terror attack. In fact, you at every juncture have said that Pakistan has nothing to do with the terror attacks on India. The question is, why should we not take the statement of Mahmood Ali Durrani today very seriously? Because he says that these attacks were done, planned from Pakistan. They were counter-terrorism from another soil, which is cross-border terrorism that he talks about. And he also says that for 8 long years, there have been a lot of so-called evidence that has been given to you. Not one has been given the kind of importance that it should have in the evidence that should be put up in courts. You put up weak cases. You've allowed Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi to get away. You use Schedule 4 against Hafiz Saeed, allow him just house arrest. Is that credible action that you are taking against terrorists if you are also somebody who's a victim of terror?
Ma'am, I can only give you the analytical part of it, because as far as the clarifications are concerned, they should be done by some government official. And I think they have not been let free. They are on bail, and the person on bail is not the one who has been let free. Because of the longevity of the trial, he has been given a relief in shape of bail. Now, coming to this carnage and Pakistan's involvement and Maruf Raza's very emotional and loud utterance that Pakistan self-governed and sovereign state, and how come these state actors and non-state actors relationship, I would like to put Maruf little at ease by trying to open his eyes to editing of POTA and UPA. Prevention of terrorist acts and unlawful activities.
Shafqat Saeed, please answer the question. Shafqat Saeed, why don't you answer the question? Let me reiterate for you. We are, no, one second. The question is very, very clear. The question is directed at you and what is happening in Pakistan, because what we are showing you tonight is a mirror. We are not even talking about what we are saying. We are talking about the statements made by your people. And while we've already quoted Mr. Durrani here, let me also point out what I was trying to bring out earlier. The former Director General of Pakistan's Federal Investigating Agency, Tariq Khosa, also had claimed clearly that 2611 convict Ajmal Kasab was a Pakistan national and a Lashkar-e-Taiba trained all 10 terrorists in camps in Sindh. These are your people who are constantly emphasizing what India has been saying for 9 years. If you don't want to listen to what we are saying, if you don't believe all the evidence that we keep piling up, what about your own highly decorated people when they make these admissions and confessions on terror? Don't you have to answer at least then when your own people say this?
Ma'am, you made such a long statement. I thought you were reading some news item. And I don't know what is your question.
I was actually reading a quote. I'm surprised that it was lost on you. Let me clarify once again. I was reading a quote out to you, a quote of Mr. Khosa. And I'm quite surprised that you did not follow that I was actually reading out a quote to you.
Not like news reader. Please make a question.
Well, I'm going to read out a quote to you verbatim, sir, so that I do not get my facts wrong. If I am quoting somebody, I will read the entire quote.
Don't put things in my mouth.
The question is pointless if I don't put the quote forward. Yeah, okay, you please answer now.
You are not a news reader.
Please answer now.
If you want to make a statement, then
please answer now. I'm absolutely not. That's not what I do, sir. I am conducting a debate right now, and I'm asking you a question based on a quote.
I wanted to give the answer. You want to hear what you want to hear, that's all. You don't want to hear.
Why don't you answer?
We don't want to hear.
Why don't you answer?
We tried to put questions to you twice.
To your ears. Whatever he has said, whether correct or wrong, he has said music to ears, and you are very happy.
Tina has tried to put the question to you. I have tried to put the question to you. But you obviously won't want to answer the difficult questions.
The
Simple
actual fact is
question.
that you all are
Okay.
behind everything that is happening in India, and you are the only country who does such things to edit laws. You kill your own
Tina
people.
just quoted to
And you killed your own people
Tina
because they
just
were
quoted to
exposing
you.
you. The CBI and IB conflict.
Well,
has surfaced, and that
we
was exposing your ruling elite of Gujarat.
I think let's take that
and
question
which
to
is not
Colonel
the ruling
Farooq
elite
Cheema,
of all
since
India.
Shafqat Saeed is not in a mood to listen.
India
Colonel
is
Farooq
on
Cheema, if
fascist
you are
law.
hearing us over the din that is being created by, Shafqat Saeed sitting next to you, very simple pointed question was that if your people like Durrani, like Khosa, are going to repeatedly make confessions on terror, do you not think Pakistan must answer? And after your answer, let's bring in GD Bakshi and Arsen Singh also.
First of all, I just want to ask one question from the entire Indian nation. You people are crying maximum about the terrorism that you heard. We have suffered 70,000 people in this. 44 countries across the globe, they were interested to send their sons to fight terrorism in this region. How many Indians have fought there? Not a single. Do you have any answer to that? Because
our hands are full fighting the terror that is perpetrated by you.
I'll tell you, Colonel.
Your job is to support terrorism.
Your former national security advisor has said that Pakistani soil is used
First of all,
for
second,
perpetrating cross-border terror. Why don't you respond to that
Pakistan is
question?
a victim of
I
terror.
ask Indians.
You are
Colonel Farooq Cheema, respond to the question
You are
that
a
has been
victim of
raised
terrorism
by
that you
Mr.
have sown.
Durrani.
Terrorism.
Mr.
You are a
Durrani
victim of
says,
the terror
like
groups
Mr.
that
Khosa
you have
before
fed and
him,
nurtured.
that
Why
Pakistani
should we
soil
go and
is
fight your terror
used
groups?
to transport
You want us to
terror
send
from
troops?
cross-border
We will
from
send
Pakistan
troops.
to
We have
India.
enough experience.
If you are
We will
such a
wipe them
victim
out.
of terror, how come you have not taken any action against Zakiur Rahman Rakvi? Why have you not taken any action against Hafiz Saeed? And let me take that question since you have no answer to that one.
Do you have any reply for that? No Indian has reply.
Yeah, we have lots of
44
replies
countries are
provided.
interested.
Yes, I have a reply if you are willing to listen.
And not the one
Okay,
who is crying the
Major
most.
GD Bakshi.
44 countries. What
General GD Bakshi is responding to you.
44 countries.
Colonel
Bunch of
Cheema.
them
to this.
are Islamic
Listen to
countries
me,
who are going
conduct a dignified debate.
I have lived my
Colonel,
life.
can we
Throughout my
kindly
life,
conduct
I
a
have
dignified
never seen,
debate
never heard
where we listen to one another and not just enter into monologues?
Wrong. No, it has not.
Please.
If you find
Can
Colonel
I kindly
Cheema,
have
why don't you bring
respond to
Mahmood
what
Durrani?
you said?
Colonel
you ask
Cheema.
Mahmood Durrani, where was he? Where was he when 9 years have
Acha,
passed?
okay,
Where was
okay.
his evidence? Ask Mahmood Durrani.
Can we
Ask
kindly
Mahmood
take
Durrani.
it on?
He said this in 2009 January as well.
And
Colonel
give his
Cheema,
confessional
you
statement.
are trying to
Navika,
have
can we
partial
kindly
amnesia.
have our say?
You are suffering from partial amnesia,
Ask Mahmood
Colonel
Durrani.
Cheema.
We
You are
will
suffering
follow
from
that.
partial amnesia.
Not like this.
Mr. Durrani
Navika, are
in
we here to
2009 was
listen
the
to
first man
harassment
to
by our
admit
Pakistani
he
guests?
was the
Or is
first
this going
man
to
to
be a
admit
debate?
that Ajmal Kasab, one of the 10 trained LET
Please, 1
operatives
minute
who had
only.
been sent to
1
India to
minute.
gun down
Number one,
170
ask my
Indians.
question, which you don't have.
170
Number two,
people were gunned down, sir.
Ask him.
And Ajmal Kasab being a
Navika, can
Pakistani
we have
was
our
first
say?
admitted by Mr.
He
Durrani.
should
What
give
did your government do? They booted him out.
Under the criminal
General GD
procedure
Bakshi.
code. He should give him the
Are
code.
Pakistani
We will
guests
proceed accordingly.
suffering from
this is the way.
complete
Colonel
amnesia
Cheema,
or partial
and
amnesia
telling
when
us-
they
Yeah, can we
question
have our say?
General Durrani?
That the America tells. If America
excuse
tells
me.
in Pakistan.
Colonel
only that they
Cheema,
listen. By America
kindly
is America.
listen to this.
India is India.
Colonel
You are not
Cheema,
America.
kindly
Don't
listen to the
Major
others.
General GD Bakshi, you
Cheema
please
Sahab.
speak. Quick.
Don't
Cheema Sahab, I'll have to put your fader down if you do not allow
do you want
General
us to
GD
walk
Bakshi
out?
to speak.
Please not like that. Please.
General
You know,
Cheema,
Colonel
please
Cheema,
listen to General GD
kindly
Bakshi. Yes,
listen
General
to
GD
the
Bakshi.
others. In this country, debate
You
means
don't
a
like
two-sided
because you
discussion.
don't have
Please,
Not a single
kindly listen.
soldier.
We are replying to what you said.
Terrorism.
Firstly, I'd like to tell you...
Bakshi, you please go ahead and make your point. We assure you we'll be able to hear you. Please go ahead, make your point, sir.
Firstly, I'd like to tell this gentleman that Pakistan has been parading a narrative of victimhood and denial. Can you kindly listen, Colonel?
And we will proceed.
We've heard you.
We want...
Can you kindly listen? You've asked some questions. I'm trying to answer you.
I asked you this question. Please go.
Colonel Chima.
The man.
Colonel Chima. Colonel Chima, you will have to now listen to General G.D. Bakshi. You have gone on speaking one way for too long, Colonel Chima. Please listen to General G.D. Bakshi now.
That you are the greatest victims of terrorism. That is hogwash. The fact is, you were told by Hillary Clinton that if you keep snakes in your backyards and feed them milk, they are going to bite you. That is precisely what is happening. Number two, your denial that these are all... Can I finish, please? We heard you with a great amount of patience. Colonel Chima,
let me tell you,
we heard you with a great amount of patience. Can you show the same courtesy? Can you show the same courtesy? Can you show the same courtesy in a debate of listening to the other side? I haven't spoken. I haven't spoken.
Colonel Chima, I will have to intervene here. Colonel Chima, let's not test the patience of the other panelists. There are 6 panelists on this show. You have taken the maximum time and you have not answered a single question.
You are not listening to the answers to your question. I would like to tell you that if you claim that these are all non-state actors who are carrying out incidents of mass killings like 26/11, you are testing the intelligence of our people. The fact of the matter is these so-called non-state actors' argument will not wash anymore. Either you are not in control of your sovereign territory. If you are not, then that should give the other country the right to carry out hot pursuit and surgical operations. See the way you have been trying to deal with a small country like Afghanistan. You have been trying to bully that country by shelling across the border, by sending your troops. This is the precise treatment you will get if you go into this denial mode that these are all non-state actors, they are out of our control, we can do nothing. We are not in control of our sovereign territory. I think that argument will not wash because this is going to be the denouement of that argument. We have already done a surgical strike. We have already launched fire assaults. These will become the new norm if you do not stop. You have already, you were talking of the train, Samjhauta Express. You have already hit the train.
Who was as highly ranked as being the NSA of the country has come forth and reiterated the confession that yes, Pakistan had a hand. Pakistan was the plotter and executor of 26/11 terror attacks. And RSN Singh, I'd like to come to you on this. It's really an irony if the former NSA of a country admits the Pakistani hand in a terror attack, but Pakistan absolutely refuses to bring anyone to book, anyone who is implicated in these attacks, anyone who is, known to be a perpetrator of these attacks. The point is, it's not just Durrani, as we have already made it clear. It's been Khosa in the past. It's Kasab himself talking about his, being from Pakistan, giving the entire modus operandi. David Headley's confession. Everything has pointed to the exact same fact.
Firstly, I would like to retort that, he was talking about terrorism within Pakistan. We are not concerned about the blowback. In fact, I for one, I wish that, this blowback destroys them, destroys them once for all. But having said that, let me tell you, various analysts are, looking at various imports of the Durrani statement. But the fact of the matter is that while I do not want to undermine the significance, he has been very clever with his words. What has he said? He has said that it's a classic case of cross-border terrorism. Thereby, he has absolved the Pakistani military intelligence establishment. So therefore, and then he clarified later to the press to the media, he said that no, the ISI had no hand in it. Now, I mean, don't stretch our credibility and
he may have said that, Arsene Singh, but he's also said, I hate to admit that 26/11 attack carried out by a terror group based in Pakistan. So he's admitting that the terror group emanates from Pakistani soil.
Allow me to differ with you here. As a national security advisor, if he says that he did not know that his own military intelligence establishment is going in or planning, coordinating, executing such a big attack, which involved, tremendous amount of training and logistics, and then there is a big question mark on the security architecture of Pakistan. I mean, not a fly can move here, without our NSA's, knowledge, because at some level, when you carry out such operations within an enemy country, everything has to be factored in. The geopolitical consequences have to be factored. The diplomatic consequences have to be factored. And here was a situation when the situation in Afghanistan, let me tell you, was very, very grim. But let me tell you, I owe it to the people of my country as a strategic analyst. I monitor on a daily basis. Why this timing? The timing is that, as Maruf, he told about the American angle.
Yes.
What has happened is the Heritage Foundation and Hudson Foundation. Two foundations have submitted a very lengthy report. I mean, report titled "A New Approach to Pakistan." And where they have said that, look, if you want to balance India and Pakistan, it is not going to happen. It is beyond the capability of the US. So they have suggested certain steps, and one of the steps they have said that for every good behavior that Pakistan now acquits itself, they need to be rewarded. So you can see that in that light. And let me tell you one very significant thing. I don't know whether the people of this country and analysts know about it, that Durrani has been the strongest backroom boy and the linchpin of US policy in the subcontinent. Now let me tell you, he was the man who was the defense attaché in Pakistan when history was being made. When Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, he was the defense. Just 1 minute. Thereafter, he was military secretary to Ziaul Haq, and do you know, he was the man who insisted that Ziaul Haq, when he was commanding one armored dip, that he visit his exercise, and then when Ziaul Haq was going back, everybody knows that he died. So much so the ambassador of US had raised very serious doubts on and later he was appointed in 2006.
So his words can't be taken lightly. So his words, words cannot be taken lightly.
I as an analyst cannot help but smell a strong American initiative in this whole thing.
Okay, so if you're talking about American initiative, let me take this back to Air Marshal Abid Rao. Air Marshal Abid Rao, in his latest book, Playing to the Edge, Michael Hayden, the former CIA director, what did he say? And we are bringing to your notice what successive people in Pakistan, in the United States have said. We are not even going by what India has said. We are going by what the United States has said. Former CIA director says he expressed his deep frustration of the duplicity of Pakistan leadership when it came to taking action against terrorist groups, in particular Al-Qaeda, Taliban and LET and the Haqqani network. And look what he also goes on to say. He says, we had no doubt that the attack of 26/11 was the work of LET, and there was mounting evidence that perpetration for and direction of the attack took place from within Pakistan, where LET enjoyed the protection and support of the ISI. This has been stated by Michael Hayden, the former CIA director. Couple this with the former NSA, Mr. Durrani's statements today. Do you think, Air Marshal Abid Rao, it's time for Pakistan to do something credible, take some credible action, rather than pulling the wool over the entire world's eyes that you are fighting terror and you are the victim of terror in your own land?
Just 1 minute. And if this be the security architecture of Pakistan, then the whole world has reasons to be concerned about the safety of nuclear weapons in Pakistan.
Speaking, I don't know. Let me speak.
No. Sorry for the. Yeah, Marshal.
Let's assume General Durrani's report is absolutely correct. Let's assume that. What next? If only Pakistan used to do something, what about India? we both have to do something to stop this terrorism, to stop these anti-state activities in both the countries. And that, when I say the government
what
must
does India need to do? India has provided all the evidence.
India must engage government of Pakistan. Otherwise, we will keep fighting on the media.
When has India not provided all the dossiers that have been required?
With our knowledge. I am impressed with Maruf Raza.
Let me remind you, after what happened in Pathankot, India even allowed an investigation team to come and have a look.
You see,
when has India fallen short, Maruf
Raza? What I'm saying is,
when has India fallen short when it comes to trying to counter this menace called terrorism?
We cannot afford to show any arrogance or bullying attitude.
In all these years when
we need to talk at equal terms so that we both address each other's concerns.
No, why? Let's talk. Let Maruf answer you. Maruf Raza.
Yes,
where has India fallen short ever?
Talk what? Talk what, Air Marshal?
We are fighting on media. Where is Indian government?
When for years,
in the last 6 months, what has Indian government done?
Pakistan has not delivered on a single promise as far as action against the terror groups
on media,
within Pakistan.
We will not respond. We are all retired people. We can say anything and get away.
Where is there room for talk?
The governments can't do that.
How can you talk to a country which has terrorism as its national strategy?
Air Marshal sir.
Maruf Raza.
Air Marshal sir. Air Marshal sir. Navika, let me remind the good Air Marshal that it was not just Michael Hayden who's being quoted again and again, but that quote of Michael Hayden about Pakistan's DGISI, who was new to the post then, admitting to him in a meeting around Christmas in 2008 after the 26/11 attack.
Maruf, you are going a step back. Let's move ahead.
By us, but it was not our operation. Now, no, sir, meri baat sun lijiye.
Even if I agree, we have to move ahead.
Is that you keep saying, sir, you said it in the last debate also. Sir, you are saying that let us find a way ahead. How, now you are a mature man, a student of strategic affairs, as I know personally. How would you move ahead? You build confidence between two countries. How do you build confidence?
Absolutely.
At least you accept the writing on the wall. At least you accept the statements made by not just your NSA, but your DGISI, who has made these statements, Shuja Pasha, on 2-3 occasions, not just to General Hayden, but also to Hussein Haqqani, who has been branded a traitor by you all. He has also made this first visit to Adiala jail on 7th of April 2009 to meet Zikrur Rahman Lakwi, was that of Shuja Pasha, who went to find out कि साहब किया क्या आपने, मुझे तो बताया नहीं किसी ने. Because the whole operation was actually conceived at the time of General Kayani when he was DGISI. Let me give you a little historical footnote. Now the most important thing is, you keep asking, how do we move forward? We move forward if we see a sense of genuineness. We see a sense of genuineness on your part. And the first genuineness would be, at least for this panel, to accept that what your men are saying is the truth. हम नहीं बोल रहे सर, आपके लोग बोल रहे, उसको भी आप डिनाई कर रहे, फिर कहते हैं लेट्स फाइंड अ वे फॉरवर्ड. हाउ डू वी फाइंड अ वे फॉरवर्ड अगर आप बेसिक फैक्ट्स को एक्सेप्ट करने को तैयार नहीं?
Exactly, and Maruf, let me take that question also back to Shafkat Saeed and Colonel Farooq Cheema. Abid Rao, coming back to you. Shafkat Saeed and Farooq Cheema, Abid Rao is at least a voice of reason here, where he is accepting the possibility that yes, Pakistan must face the reality that their own people are coming out with these confessions of terror. But I ask you, what Maruf has asked, the big question. Yes, coming to you next, Major General G.D. Bakshi. The question Maruf asks is, if we are to move forward, as you're also saying, that can only happen if we see some credible action from Pakistan's side. Let me talk about Hafiz Saeed. You know, if Pakistan was indeed serious about Hafiz Saeed and his terror acts, it would have been ruthless against him. But what you've actually done is put him under this really cozy thing called house arrest, which we all know is a sham, because he also sends out videos from there. He's addressing people from there. That house arrest is not fooling anyone. So why not start with actually taking action? It's only when Pakistan takes some credible action that everyone else is going to believe, the world is going to believe that Pakistan is indeed serious about cracking down on terror. Shafkat Saeed.
Leo. I think General G.D. Bakshi is waiting for a very long time, and I wish he had spoken. But I tell you, the actual problem is, you must address the actual problem. You will get rid of everything. There would be no army required, no belligerency. There would be no problem anywhere in Pakistan or India. and that is please solve Kashmir. Please address the aspiration of people of Kashmir.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Unless we do that, you keep hosting a program like this, okay, you will be implied.
Shafkat Saeed
Spell out continent.
May I request you?
If you don't want me on this debate, I can move.
strategy you realize
May I request you
is
to enlighten us?
obfuscate
What do you
the
want
real
on
questions
Kashmir?
that are facing you. The
What
real
is your
question
option
that
over
is facing
Kashmir?
you today, Shafkat Saeed, is what
Please address
Mahmood
the aspiration
Ali
of people
has
of
said.
Kashmir.
And he
Kashmir
has
to
not
Pakistan.
said it for the first time. He has said this in
Please address the
2009
aspiration
as
of people
well.
of
Now you
Kashmir.
want to bring in Kashmir.
I just want
now you want to
that.
bring in
Please
Kashmir.
address
What
the
does Kashmir
aspiration
have
of the
to do
people
with
of
all of this?
And let General
Let me ask you the questions.
Because he always takes care of my turn.
Purely for academic
Several
purposes.
times India has given you
Purely
the
for academic
evidence that
purposes.
ISI
Will you
involvement
accept-
was there.
will
What
you
did
accept
David Headley
independence
say?
for
David
Kashmir?
Headley, the Pak American
Abdullah,
military
yes,
operator, in his deposition
Can
from
we
the
also have a
US
say?
via video link, he said that all the terrorists who were sent from Pakistan had complete support of the ISI. Headley also said that money was conducted and surveillance and everything that was given to Headley himself was provided by Major Iqbal of the ISI. Headley also claimed that every member of the LET was handled by one or more ISI officials. These are the kind of evidences that have been provided to Pakistan, Shafkat Saeed. And you're talking about Kashmir today? What is the relevance?
If Shafkat Saeed can hear us, that question was for you. All right, so he can't hear us, but I think, Maruf, you wanted to respond to a point that he was making. Yeah, Maruf, coming to you on this now, you were talking, you wanted to respond to a point that Shafkat Saeed was making. Go ahead.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, repeatedly, Pakistani guests have always said that the root cause of dispute between India and Pakistan is the Kashmir issue. You resolve that, everything else will get resolved. I perhaps agree with that notion. I mean, as a student of something like the Kashmir issue for the last 25 years, I generally buy that argument that Pakistan says, but how do you resolve it? Pakistan, I've repeatedly asked Pakistanis, what are your options over Kashmir? Option one is Kashmir to stay with India. Pakistan said, no, that's not acceptable. Option two, accept the line of control as a border. That also is not acceptable to Pakistan. Option three is independence for the Kashmiris, which even Sheikh Abdullah in 47-48 dismissed as a no-winner. That also is not acceptable to Pakistanis. So when they say resolve the Kashmir issue, they say give us Kashmir. And that India will never do. And therefore, I go back to my original point that do what you want. You will have hostility with Pakistan because they need the Kashmir issue to keep themselves as a nation together, because their best bonding adhesive is anti-Indianism, and Kashmir is a symbol of that. Kal Saeed has just reinforced my point.
Now, Abid Rao, if I can come back to you on the point that Maruf is making. Now, this is exact. Every single time we discuss these issues of terror, the standard response from Pakistan, from the Pakistani panelists, everybody is the Kashmir issue. Now, Maruf asked the moot point here. What exactly do you want on Kashmir? What exactly do you want? Because whether you talk about the UN, whether you talk about... Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Are you serious about this question? Then let's have a plebiscite there. If you win, you take whole Kashmir. If we win, give it to us.
You know
if they
there
don't
are
want to join any
preconditions to
country,
that, right?
Make them independent. Make them independent. I personally think
there are preconditions
even an
to that
independent
plebiscite.
Kashmir
Will that
will be
solve
a
the
trouble-free
terrorism
Kashmir.
problem in your own country? Air Marshal Abid Rao, will that
terrorism
solve the
has its
terrorism
roots in
question
Kashmir.
in your own country? No,
it will solve a lot of things. There are a lot of these mujahideen who after 1989...
Will it solve the terrorism problem in your own country? Will it stall the export of terror from the Pakistani soil?
You will see it dying
Mr. Arasan Singh wants to come in.
The terrorism will die itself.
No, I just want to tell him that in the last 15 days, some 7-8 terrorist attacks have occurred within the territory of Pakistan. It spans all across. It has happened in Lahore. It has happened in Balochistan. It has happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Deadly bomb attacks. Now, if you are targeting Shias, are you doing it because of Kashmir? If you are attacking Baluchis, is it because of
I'm talking about Pakistan, India.
See, no. And what territorial problems do you have with Afghanistan? Why are you creating trouble there?
Is that you cannot say Kashmir is the root cause of all terror. Absolutely.
Abid Rao.
No, this is by your NSA.
Now here comes another absolutely illogical allegation.
RNAW, when you don't want to attend to the terror issues in your own soil, you will blame everything else. You will blame Kashmir, you will blame the RNAW action, you will blame just about everything except the fact that it is Pakistan, it is Pakistan ISI,
Air Marshal
that's giving the go-ahead to these terrorists to act in the manner that they are.
Air Marshal sir, I mean, here you asked a very pertinent question that what's the way, what's the way ahead? And I can tell you the way ahead is that, please sir, you are from the Air Force, sir, you have, you are a more sober and you carry a lot of wisdom with you. Please tell your, these pongos, these army fellows, they must abandon, repudiate this terrorism as a, instrument of a strategy. They must abandon this. Otherwise, you will have these blowbacks, and you will keep, there'll be, you will be left with nothing.
Well, and coming back to that point,
therefore, you must tell your...
Yes, bite you internally. Arsan Singh, I just need to quickly bring in Maruf Raza. We are losing time on this debate. Maruf Raza's question and then last comments from Abid Rao, please. Yes, Maruf.
Yeah. Tina, I just want to ask the Air Marshal. Pakistanis are never short of reminding us plebiscite. Firstly, the plebiscite is a word which is not used in the UN resolution. Even if we go by the contention of plebiscite, please read the UN resolution. You fulfill your clause, then we'll go for a plebiscite. But a bigger question that I want to ask
I leave that to you.
You're holding on to a certain part of Jammu and Kashmir. Sir, meri baat suniye. You're holding on to a reasonably large tract of land of Jammu and Kashmir, whether you call it Azad Kashmir or POK and Gilgit-Baltistan. वहां पे किस किस्म की फ्रीडम और इंडिपेंडेंस है सर? आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट. एन ऑथर हु लिव्ड 17 years in Pakistan, Christopher Snedden, in his book The Untold Story of Kashmir, he has laid bare your entire story of abuse of the people in that part of Kashmir. आप उसको तो पहले सॉर्ट आउट कीजिए सर, before you give us lectures.
Maruf, with all due respect, Maruf,
why is it that
Maruf, the real debate tonight is Mr. Mehboob Ali Durrani's statement and how it puts the onus back on Pakistan. Let me go across to Shafqat Saeed. Shafqat Saeed Sahab, the Anti-Terrorism Act of Pakistan is something that has been applied on Hafiz Saeed. What does that mean? Does that mean Hafiz Saeed is a recognized terrorist in Pakistan or not? Yes or no answer?
Ma'am, he is not a terrorist as far as Pakistan is concerned. He is only declared terrorist by
So then why is the Anti-Terrorism Act applied on him?
On behest
why
of India,
is the Anti-Terrorism Act applied on him?
Because of India. Now listen to me. Please learn to listen also. Please, you are anchor. You are not a news reader. Now listen to me. Now, before it is too late, the Kashmiri rising spills out of Kashmir and goes into Delhi. It has reached Delhi. It has reached Patna. It is spreading all over India, even in South India. People
don't threaten us.
We will ensure that Pakistan is splinters. We will ensure that Pakistan is splinters before you carry out those evil designs.
So you're admitting that Delhi and Patna is your hand that's coming in.
Please stand
up. Saeed, do not threaten us. We do not need any threats from Pakistan. My simple question to you, Shafqat Saeed. My simple question to you is Hafiz Saeed a terrorist when you apply the Anti-Terrorist Act on him? Is he a terrorist or not?
Till the time Kashmiri issue is solved, Hafiz Saeed, pura Pakistan Hafiz Saeed hai. Whole of Pakistan is Hafiz Saeed once it comes to Kashmir.
Anti-Terrorism Act आप उन पर लगाते हैं तो वो terrorist है या
नहीं? There is no terrorism or anything between us. It is only Kashmir. Please solve Kashmir. Your own people are asking you.
Well, it suits Pakistan.
They are snowballing. Their number is snowballing. They are rising. They are asking you why you are doing this. Why you are blinding people. Why you are raping women? Why you are killing children?
Terrorists in your own backyard are also rising, Mr. Shafqat Saeed. Mr. Shafqat Saeed, the number of terrorist attacks are also snowballing in your backyard. Why don't you pay attention to that? Why don't you tell us why Schedule 6 is not applied on Hafiz Saeed? Why are you only putting Schedule 4 on him, which only restricts his movements, only a sham house arrest? These are questions that Pakistan never wants to answer, because Pakistan knows its own narrative is known to the world, that it is perpetrating terror from across the border, not only to India but to other parts of the world. It's been stated by their own former National Security Advisor Mahmood Ali Durrani. It's been stated by several experts in United States of America, including Michael Hayden, the former CIA director, all of them pointing to one thing that Pakistan will never do, which is to bring the perpetrators of terror to book, whether it is Zakiur Rahman Lakwi or whether it is Hafiz Saeed, whether it is Dawood or whether it is the Haqqani network. All of these issues waiting for attention from Pakistan, but what they will do, they will continue to raise the Kashmir issue. They will continue to muddy the waters rather than taking action against their own terrorists. Thank you very much to all our panelists for joining us here on debate number 1 tonight on the Newshour. We'll take a short break. On the other side, the big campaign, the big blitzkrieg by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has it made the opposition just a little edgy? That coming up in just 2 minutes.